Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Super Kai Guy channel. Today we will look into some common problems you can expect on the third generation BMW X5, which is also known as the F15. We'll discuss the best year and model to buy if your concern is reliability, and which version to avoid, if any. In this generation, there were a few different versions of the car. There was the BMW 35i that came in rear-wheel drive as well as the all-wheel drive configuration and had the same N55 engine. The more powerful version of the X5 was the xDrive 50i, powered by the N63 TU engine, which is what this car has and what my BMW 550i has. So I'm pretty familiar with this engine, you can say. The last version was the xDrive 40e with the N20 engine combined with a hybrid system. I don't know much about the diesels or the X5M, so I will not be covering those in this video. And before we continue, don't forget to hit that like button for YouTube algorithm and leave a comment down below letting me know which version you'd like to own. Now let's talk about some common issues across the range that are not really dependent on the engine. We will discuss engines shortly. Of course, each car is different, and even though some of these are common issues, they may never happen to your car. But then again, you can easily have multiple issues I talk about in this video as well, even if you take good care of your car. The most common issue people have reported is leather cracking on the side of the seat. Just something to look out for, as it can cost a decent amount to repair if you're out of warranty. Another commonly reported issue is squeaks coming out of the steering column, as well as rattles from the tailgate, especially when driving on rougher terrains, and wind blowing through the driver's side seal at high speeds. The latter can be fixed by simply adjusting the door, but it's still something to be aware of. A little less common, but some X5s will have water leaking from the drain tubes in the sunroof, especially after a heavy rain or a car wash. If you're looking to buy a BMW X5, check the roof liner and the rest of the interior just to make sure there's no water damage anywhere. Also, if the car has rear air suspension, the bags can develop little pinholes or leaks in some other ways as well. Not only will that cause the car to sag a little bit in the back after sitting for some time, but that also means the compressor will have to work overtime and can fail prematurely. A lot of them come with springs, but if you have the third row seat in your X5, there is a chance that you have air suspension, so do look out for that. I have also seen a lot of people reporting issues with the car not shutting down on the first press of the start-stop button. This isn't something you can tackle at home, so a visit to the dealer is probably a must. Now let's break it down to specific models. We'll start with the BMW S-Drive 35i and the X-Drive 35i that were available from 2013 to 2018. The difference between the two is that the X-Drive version is, of course, all-wheel drive. That's it. These cars come with the N55 engine, and I'll start by saying that this will most likely be the most reliable engine that comes on this car. Does this mean you won't have any issues? Of course not, but luckily BMW has pretty much figured out the N55 engine by the end of 2013, and any issues that they had in the early years were mostly solved. Most notably, the rod bearing issue that early N95 engines suffered from, that has been taken care of, so that's great. If you'd like to see what kind of damage that can cause, check out my BMW N55 engine rebuild project. Some issues you can expect on these N55 engines would be the oil filter housing gasket leak, which in itself isn't that big of a deal, but if the oil goes onto your serpentine belt, it can cause all kinds of issues. It's best to replace it as soon as you see any kind of noticeable seepage there. Another issue that seems to be common and not fixed by BMW is the plastic charge pipe that can crack and cause boost issues. It's a very popular upgrade for anyone with the N55 engine, even if they're not seeking more power or thinking of tuning their car. Next, let's take a look at the X5 50i with the N63 TU engine that was produced between 2013 and 2018. This is the car that we have here, and of course, the most fun out of the bunch, with lots of power to play with. If you Google issues on the N63 engine, you will get a list long enough to make you cry. But luckily, most of those are about the original N63 engine, which is not what this car has. The X5 has the updated version, the N63 TU, which is a very important distinction. Not only does it have 40 more horsepower, but it also is much more reliable and does not suffer from the same issues. I've done a lot of research on this engine, as I have the exact same engine in my BMW 550i, and all things considered, this is a pretty reliable twin-turbo V8. Personally, I have not had any issues with the engine, and I've only had to replace the ignition coils and the spark plugs on mine. The owner of this X5 has also had to replace a couple ignition coils, as the engine was misfiring. Oil consumption is normal if thinner oils are used or not changed as often, but if you see smoke out of the tailpipes, it could be much worse. This X5 has had its valve seals replaced at just, I don't know, like 40,000 miles. That's pretty expensive. Over $10,000 job from the dealer. That luckily for this owner was done under warranty. If you go with an indie shop, it can cost you as much as 5,000 bucks to do. So that's a big one. Of course, there are other minor issues that can creep up on this engine, but nothing too excessive. I've seen reports of leaking oil pump gaskets, oil pan gaskets, and maybe a head gasket leak here and there, but nothing engine destructive. I recommend this engine if you like power and luxury built all into one car. The last model we'll take a quick look at is the xDrive 40e that was available from 2015 to 2018 and is using a hybrid combo system with the N20 engine. This is the heaviest of the bunch and the most complex out of the X5s. While it's the updated N20 engine, these are known for timing chains and timing chain tensioner issues as well as rod bearing issues. I'm sure this engine is not very stressed with the help of the hybrid system, but it's a very complex vehicle. The only other consistent issue that I saw people complain about in this car is the issue with charging at home when it fails to initiate randomly. Not really have much to say about that one. In conclusion, while BMW's X5 is a very fun SUV and provides luxury and sportiness, and is overall a great package, just like any other BMW, there are problems to expect. And I hope this video has helped you make a better decision or prepare you for ownership. So, which model should you go with? As far as reliability, I would say the xDrive 35i with the N55 engine will most likely give you the least amount of trouble. But the xDrive 50i with the N63TU engine is not a bad buy either, and it's a lot more fun to drive. I would avoid the xDrive 40e due to its complexity and the less reliable N20 engine. The production year is pretty much negligible as there were no real updates through the production run. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more content coming and already on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. And also, sorry for all the weird angles. I just could not get a good sound out of today's filming. So, it is what it is. Version was the xDrive 40e with the N20 engine combined with a hybrid system. I don't didn't know about this. Hey guys, welcome.